Hi, so in this video, we'll give you more practice on the factoring strategy. First of all, you need to determine by the terms. If you have 4 terms, we know that, okay, no. Always factor the common factor first. Right, after common factor, we'll separate. If it have 4 terms, if we're going to what? Factoring by groups. If it has 3 terms, we either use a plus b squared equals to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, or a minus b squared equals to a squared minus 2ab plus b squared, or 2 terms. Well, 2 terms are easy, so you either have what? The differences of the sum, which is a squared minus b squared, which is a plus b times a minus b, or the cubic. A cubed plus or minus b cubed equals to a squared, ab, and then b squared. The slope, same, opposite, always positive. So that means you do the opposite. Okay, so now example 1. But remember, always factor the common factor first. I want to reinforce that. Okay, first one, we have a 24 AZ minus 18 AH and then plus 60 YZ minus 14.5 YH. Okay, so how we are going to do this one? Well, let's see if they have any common factor. They have a 24, 18, 60, and 45. The first thing I could think about is 2, or they can both factor out by 3. No, they can factor out by 2 because 45 is an odd number. So by 3. So let's factor the 3 out. So 3, we have what? 6 AZ minus, oops, sorry. Not 6 AZ. When you factor the 3 out, you have 8 AZ minus 6 AH plus 20 YZ minus 15 YH. Okay. So now let's group it. How do we want to group it? Well, let's try the first 2 into one group and then the last 2 into another group. Let's see what happened. So with 3 terms, what do they have in common? So let me put a bracket. So they have 2 and a in common. So we have 4z left and 3h left. Okay, so for the red pen, the red highlighted part, we have a 20 and 15. So the common should be 5. And then yz and yh, common would be y. So what's left? We have a 4z minus 3h. Okay, so inside the bracket, okay? So this is the common terms. So we factor this out. We have 3 times 2a plus 5y, that's the left part. Okay, let me use the bracket so you know that it's different layer. And then 4z minus 3h. Okay, now since this is multiplication, we can just remove the bracket. Okay, another example, we have 14.5 x to the cube minus 16. Okay, so don't rush. Okay, so now you see x cubed. All you think about is, hey, how can I make this into a cube, some numbers cubic? Don't rush into it. Always the first step is you try to factor the common factor. What do they have in common? Definitely an even number. We know that 2 is their common factor. Anything else? Let's try it. We can do one by one. So if we factor 2 out, we have a 27x to the cube minus 8. Okay, so the difference is cube. Now we need to think about how can I write 27 and 8 into cube. Well, 27 equals to what? 3 to the cube, right? And 8 is 2 to the cube. 2 to the cube. Okay. And then we use the differences of cube, which is a, b, a squared, a times b, and then b squared. Okay, and then for the sign, it should be, don't forget the bracket, same, opposite, always positive. So now we need to simplify it. We write nicer way. So we're 2 times 3x minus 2 times 9x squared plus 3x times 2, we have 6x plus 4. Okay. Let's have another example. I like this one. 16a squared minus 9b squared. Okay, differences of the square. So this one you can factor the common factor because 16 and 9, they're relatively prime to each other. So we can rewrite 16 as 4 squared. So that 16a squared equals to 4 times a and then square minus 3 times b squared. So I have 4a minus 3b times 4a plus 3b. Okay, so now let's do another one for the regrouping one, or this one. Let's do regrouping. Okay, so this one, we know that it's 4 terms, so we know that we need to use regroup strategy. This is D, sorry. But something you need to be careful, how do you regroup this? What would be the best way to regroup this? Let me see if I write this wrong. Okay, should be fine. Okay, so first of all, we try to factor the common factor. We have 3, 15, 1, and 5. They're relatively prime to each other. So now we regroup this. Let's try the first 2 and then the last 2. If it doesn't work, we will order it. Okay, so for the first 2, the green one, common factor would be 3 times a, so we have a c plus 5d squared. And then for the second one, they have x squared in common, c left, and then 5d squared. Okay, that works. And then they have a common factor of whatever inside the parentheses, which is c plus 5d squared. So with c plus 5d squared, we factor it out. The left thing is 3a plus x squared. Okay, so that's it for this exercise. Let me know if you want more exercise. Good luck.